Hello, welcome to HITC Sport, and right, so, first impressions are so important in life. Like in my case, when I fell out of my mother looking like a melted Danny DeVito and smelling like a bowl of constipated muesli. Is it any wonder she tried to sell me on eBay that night? But unfortunately for her, the maternity ward isn't like a tray of pick and mix. It's you're stuck with me now, mother? But that's enough about my traumatic childhood. Right, as for my first impression on you guys, let's have a look.
Hello and welcome to HITC Sport. What's worse than the FA appointing someone whose last job in club football involved just about keeping a club in the top flight? Appointing someone who didn't?
Yeah, here's a guy trying to audition for a career on camera by refusing to look at the f***ing thing. I'm literally looking everywhere but the camera. That's like turning up for a date with a human woman and choosing to spend the evening staring at your feet. And I'm sorry, is that a f***ing earring? Right, so as far as first impressions go, that's like being introduced to the in-laws and getting sick on their feet. So now, since that was suitably horrific, what I'm gonna do is go through a bunch of other football YouTubers and just see what my first impression was of them. I'm sure they're all on the edge of their seat. Spencer FC.
Right, before we start, we need to lay down the FIFA apology rules. When I beat you, you've got to look down that camera, explain to them that I'm definitely better at FIFA than you. Oh my god! Malone. That is good, isn't it? Isn't that good? Wasn't that good? Huh? Wasn't that good?
This guy owns a football club in the FA Cup. This guy, if you told me that back in 2015, I'd assume there's more chance of me growing a vagina on my face. Listen, don't get it wrong, Spencer is doing big things right now. He created a football club with a name that's sure to piss off Big Brendan down the local pub. It's quite a joy to see frustrated 50-year-old plumbers turning up to games and struggling to understand what the a hashtag is. Spencer stood up to West Ham fans. He's created Wembley Cups, and just like a butcher who keeps getting sacked, seems to enjoy recycling out-of-date beef. But as far as first impressions go, this guy seemed like he's more likely to spend his afternoon stealing 6 packs of Carpacki and robbing old ladies in a Tesco car park. But no, the only thing Spencer Owen is robbing is the hearts of non-league fans nationwide. Heavy D.
My name is David Luiz, and I've come here to help Arsenal win the title. We're gonna win the league, man!
Heavy D. My first impression of him was that yes, aliens do indeed walk among us. Sorry, that was me. Listen, he's probably a nice fella. I'm sure he is, but my first impression of the guy.
I'm telling you right now, we're gonna win the Champions League! We're gonna win! I'm telling you! Boo! Don't do that! Boo! I said it! Look at boo!
Seemingly trying for the world record of seeing how many times you can fit the word boom into a sentence, all while sweating like David Cameron on a pig farm. It's just a bit strange. Louis Beneventi. Listen, I like Louis Beneventi. He's a really nice guy. And I think I've shown my affection to this guy on this channel, right?
You're not Chelsea, man!
Yeah, by rights, Louis should probably feel like drowning me in a public toilet. But my first impression of the guy...
And you lot, who left in the 75th minute, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. Where I sat, there was no sound anymore.
Louis, I listened to this on full volume. Never mind no sound in the stadium. There's no sound in my f***ing ears after that. When I first watched this video, I was nearly hit by a bus 4 times that week.
You should be ashamed.
It's like being yelled at by your wife for leaving the toilet seat up, am I right? Nah, I haven't spoken to a human woman since 2013. HITC 7s. Now, for most of you, your first impressions of HITC 7s were, this. Yeah, apparently you were all expecting him to look like a 40-year-old man with 3 kids, 2 jobs and a waiting libido. Now, to be fair, early on, back in 2017, I also thought he sounded like a guy who should be announcing that the fruit and veg aisle is closed in Tesco's.
We all know transfers are an integral part of the modern game, with the strength of a team's recruitment often coming to define their season.
Christ, he sounds like he's recorded this video 20 minutes after being served divorce papers and told that his dog had just been wiped out by a lawnmower. But then again, lads, in comparison to my first videos, he sounds like Martin Tyler.
Memphis Depay to Everton. When Memphis Depay signed for Manchester United last season, he was hailed as the second coming of Ronaldo. He has scored just 2 league goals for the club and is yet to start under Jose Mourinho. Ronald Koeman has expressed an interest in signing.
Oh, make it stop. Oh, by the way, lads, trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before Christmas. But if we actually manage to pull it off, it would be a mental underdog story. It really would. So yeah, if you're one of those not subscribed yet, please do. And who knows? Christ above. Oh, by the way, lads, before we get into the video, urgent message. I've been instructed to let you all know about the Rousing the Cop YouTube channel, where Emil Heskey is on regularly talking football with Brendan Hudrian. Go over and have a look. But maybe don't invite KSI. Thogden. My first impression of Thogden.
Ow, my ears.
My first impression of this manic 12-year-old was seeing him celebrate a Bolton goal by nearly tearing his voice box in half. Redman TV. Redman TV don't know this, but they were the first set of YouTubers I ever saw in the flesh. And yes, I realise that's a sentence about as creepy as Bill Cosby's idea of a Tinder date. No, don't worry, Chris Pajak. I don't make a habit of staring in your window while you're on the toilet. Don't worry, I've knocked that back to just twice a month. No, we've actually collabed 5 years ago, but you won't have known about it. Christ, this gets creepier by the minute. I might as well say I snuck into your bed at night and licked your face while you were sleeping, but you wouldn't have known about it. Listen, no restraining orders are necessary, alright? I can't explain everything. Well, maybe not everything. For example, I can't work out how I'm still alive for a start. Eating 6 tins of dog food every day, I promise you. My bowels resemble a microwave that was bought off eBay. They could break down at any minute.
How was he not booked in for that? I do not know. You know what, Daniel Sturridge. This is the top 4 race and it was billed as winner takes all. It's not. Manchester United have got some tough fixtures.
Yeah, that was my YouTube debut. Vizay. Okay, listen, I'm quite unfamiliar with Vizay. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Although, considering he makes about 3 FIFA videos a day, I can only assume he's developed an allergy to sunlight and has no doubt lost the feeling in his legs. Christ above, playing FIFA non-stop for 23 hours a day. I wouldn't be surprised if his inner thought monologue was just Martin Tyler's voice. The poor boy probably hasn't eaten a home-cooked meal since 2014, just living off a diet of expired muesli and soggy FIFA packs. I may not understand what a FIFA pack is. Anyway, I don't know much about this kid. Just that he instigated a national movement. Not exactly to the same extent as Marcus Rashford feeding a country of hungry kids. Nah, he just got Liverpool fans to change their Twitter profile photos to Ashley Barnes. Theo Baker. I only discovered Theo Baker fairly late in life. I say discovered, he's not a extraterrestrial. Listen, YouTube boxing is glamorous. Fronted by Eddie Hearn, selling out the Staples Center, generating millions of pay-per-views. But dig beyond the veil, scratch beneath the surface, and you'll see that the whole charade was started by Theo Baker, stumbling about like a patient on day release in a Brighton gym. My first impression of Theo Baker, lamb in the headlights. Probably when he was cornered in an underground basement by 2 30-year-old men. Apparently this was a podcast back in November 2016. Was it? Because to me it just seemed like an hour and a half of True Geordie eyeing up the poor boy as if he was an afternoon snack. Hugh Izzy. First impression of Hugh Izzy was probably something along the lines of, is that Rene Higuita? Christ above, it looked like he hadn't set foot in a barber since the day he was born. Guy's got a virtual pillow on his head. Adam McCullough. What was my first impression of Adam McCullough? Probably being the guy who held the mic for Andy Tate to scream into back in 2014. Listen, I've met Adam once at the Stadium of Light 3 years ago when I was doing a fan view. He was a nice guy, he agreed to the interview. And lads, I was a YouTuber living off 20 views a video. I'm pretty sure I hadn't showered in 6 weeks and I'd spent the previous night sleeping in a ditch. So never mind the interview, the fact he agreed to stand within 3 feet of me. Oh, round of applause for Adam McCullough. F2 freestylers. Right, so apparently it's the done thing to go on the internet and complain about the size of Jeremy Lynch's ego.
Oh, he once wore a Batman mask. He was cocky at the Wembley Cup and his mate said a mean thing to Stephen Tries.
Wait, seriously? And nobody's phoned the police? Yeah, I don't think the criminal justice system really cares about locking people up for responding badly to a diss track. Listen, Jeremy Lynch is a talented footballer. I've seen him score at Soccer Aid live in the flesh against the likes of Roman Kemp and that Irish one out of One Direction, but still it counts. But my first impression, you have to go all the way back to May 2008 when I looked like this. Oh good Christ. This was back when Swaz competed in a talent show against dancing dogs. But lads, considering I was an adolescent, young teenage child, i.e. a walking Kleenex, then I probably thought,
oh my god, this guy is sick. Look at those step overs. Look at those trick shots. Ah!
Football Daily. Football Daily. What was my first you're probably all expecting me to lambaste them right now, right? And yeah, Sunday Vibes does slightly resemble Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Well, let's see. It's the summer of 2017, and HITC Sport isn't even a speck of dust on the internet. I had about 40 subscribers, and so I spit out this video. 3 weeks later, interesting. Yes, I realize I sound like the f***ing Winklevoss twins crying outside Mark Zuckerberg's front door, crying about a thumbnail from 3 goddamn years ago. But hey, you wanted to know my first impression? Then maybe that's what stoked the flames. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.